Contestant number 2, Christopher Button, the stalker. The stalker, Christopher Button.
Good evening. Thank you so much for being here for me tonight. I've had such a wonderful time. I've met people from all over the world, some taking 24 hours to get here. I've had great conversations. I feel fantastic. I feel safe. And I feel burdened. Mr. Contest Chair, Toastmasters, friends, I have a confession. And I hope that you'll hear it. It's hard for me, but here goes. I'm a stalker. Now, I hear you laughing, but I don't think you understand. I am a hardcore, dyed-in-the-wool, cold-blooded stalker. My gosh, you know, they say that confession is the first step in recovery, and I believe it because I feel like 1,000 pounds just came off my chest. And unfortunately, it looks like it landed on yours. Maybe a little context will help to make things a little smoother. I'm not just a stalker. I'm a father of 3 gorgeous daughters. A little blonde, a breathtaking brunette, my middle child, and a precocious 16-year-old redhead. Tell me, what would you do if you were me? It's insane. Beautiful daughters, boys everywhere, and they want just one thing. And it's not like the days when I grew up, when you grew up. No. No longer is it just the telephone that you have to listen for, or the pickup truck in the driveway. There's the whole social media thing. Facebook, text-free. It all just leaves me at Twitter. How do you deal with this? My old boss had this saying he always spread around. Life doesn't change until you experience a significant life-changing event. And I believe that. I'd like to tell you about my life-changing event. It was 6 o'clock on a Friday evening. After a very long week, and the phone rings. Daddy, I want to go to the movies. It was Hadassah, my 16-year-old, and I could tell by the lilt in her voice that something was up. Now, in a former life, I was a drill instructor. I knew exactly what to do. Interrogation. Where are you going? With who? What time? How long? What movie? Repeat all the questions to see if it's consistent. And while she's trying to answer, I'm dialing my wife. Hadassah, can you hold on? Stacy, Hadassah would like to go to the movies. Since this is the first time, I think you should say yes. I have a plan. I love you too. Hadassah, check with your mother, and then if it's okay with her, it's okay with me. Bye-bye. At 7:10, Hadassah walked into the theater. It was January. At 7:20, I walked into the same theater. And I looked all around, and I have pretty good eyes. And my daughter is not there. And I'm thinking to myself, how can this be? My daughter, did she lie to me? My blood pressure is rising, and then I see him. Back row, all the way in the corner. And I think, you are so dead. When I tell your mother what you're doing with that girl. And then I was instantly distracted by my own daughter. Right there in front of me, all 4'8" of her, sitting in the front row. My hands rose to the height of this boy's neck, and I stepped forward instinctively. I got 3 steps from the chair. Now, understand, I'm a project manager. I get paid to solve crises. And this, ladies and gentlemen, was a crisis. By the time I reached her, I was calm. My hands were at my side. And I simply leaned over. And she looked up. And I waved. And she waved back. And then I stood up. And I slunk back to the wall. And I waited for the police to come. Because that girl was not my daughter. I'm a stalker, absolutely. But I'm something more than that. I'm an intentional father. I believe in trust and verify. I take time to figure out what my children are doing, where they're doing it, and who they're doing it with. And I expect to catch them doing the right thing. But I make sure. I'm involved in every step of their life that I can be involved in. And sometimes that's a hard job, but it's worth it because my father taught me, when Hadassah's 20 years old, I want her to respect me, not like me when she's 16. And so I make those choices and I do these things. Now, trust is earned in my family, and Hadassah earned my trust that night because she was right where she should have been, halfway down the aisle in a popcorn fight with Josh. When I got home, I expected a fight from my fiery redhead, and she did not disappoint me. As soon as I stepped through the living room door, she was in my face or in my chest, hissing, "Dad, you screwed up!" I had my speech ready. I knew it was coming. We've been through this before. "Hadassah, you need to understand a father's perspective." She interrupted me. "Dad, I said, you screwed up." And once again, with that lilt in her voice, she said, "You should have told that girl your father sent me." Mr. Toastmaster. Thank you.